Recording, Brian, now.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right, everyone. Let's just get a sense. John, how many people are we expecting at the actual course?
28 right now.
Okay. And let's just, why don't you call out the respective stores and we'll have people come off mute and wave just so we can get a sense of who's here, okay? Which location? Do you have that?
I don't have the stores in front of me, Brian.
Okay. All right, let me see here. So let's start with, I don't have that list myself. I apologize, guys. All right, well, let's just, there are 28 of you. Just come off mute and let us know who's here, okay? We'll just get connected that way.
Hey, it's Cole from Local Liberty.
Oh, hey, Cole. Great.
Hey, it's Rishi and Emily from Joey Markville.
Hi, Rishi. Hi, Emily. Hi. Great. Thank you. Good to meet you.
Hi, it's sorry, I was just trying to. Hi, it's Sohani from Joey Shoreway.
Okay, hi, Shani.
Hi, I'm Katie. I'm the trainer at Joey Lansdowne.
Oh, hey. Great, Katie. That's in Ottawa, right?
Yeah.
All right, great. Good to see you. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Tori. I'm from Joey Eaton Center. I'm having trouble with my camera.
Hi, Tori.
I can see all of you.
I'm also from Joey Eaton Center. My name's Sherry.
Hi, Sherry. Good to see you.
Why aren't we doing this call together?
It's Jake.
Also from Eaton.
Oh, Jake and Mike. All right, great. Okay, the boys. I got the boys from the local. Great to see you guys.
Hey, it's Alex from Sherway.
Hey, Alex.
Hey, it's Kurt from Rito.
Hey, Kurt. Rito. Good. Rito. Okay, I got to remember that. Don't butcher that again. Thanks.
Hi, we're Allie and Joey from Rito.
Allie and Joey from Rito. Cool. Okay.
Hi, Lindsay from Lansdowne.
Hey, Lindsay from Lansdowne. Good to see you.
Hello.
Hi.
Center.
Say your name again.
This is Matt from Lansdowne.
I'm sorry. Say your name again. The last guy.
Matt from Lansdowne.
Matt. Okay. Good to see you, Matt.
And I'm Brendan from Eaton Center.
Brendan. Okay, Brendan. Good to see you.
Hey, this is Jordan from Joey Keniston. I also don't have a mic right now, but or a webcam.
Okay. Okay, we got you. Great, Jordan. Thank you.
Nick from Yorkdale. And Lauren's got a family emergency. She's supposed to be on as well, but she's dealing with some family stuff. Hello.
Okay, great. Thanks, Nick. And we'll get the recording to her as well. Thank you. Yeah, and who just said hello? Was that Matthew's iPhone?
Oh yeah, sorry. This is Matt Chow from Joey Eaton Center. I just wasn't sure if my microphone was working.
We got you, Matt. Great, thanks. Anybody else?
Yeah, Garrett Nana from Joey Keniston.
Hey, great. Good to see you.
Oh, shoot. I think I said I was from Joey Keniston. Joey Polo Park. Sorry. I used to be at Keniston.
All right. Thank you.
Dylan Beneteau from Joey Sherway.
Great, Dylan. Great to see you. All right. Have we got everyone? Anyone else? All right. Okay. Well, we're going to jump right in. And if you can mute your thank you. And John's got master control. He'll mute everybody. But our intention on the call is to orient you to what we say is one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful leadership course for any business. And we're going to take this hour and a half and give you an overview of it so that you can hit the ground running. So I'm going to share my screen. And we do have some PowerPoint here. And this is not intended to be a presentation, although the course, I will be sharing some video with you, but from time to time I'll stop, from time to time I'll ask you to say something. And then we'll give everyone, a lot of people, not everyone, not all 28 of you, but we'll give a lot of people an opportunity to share as well. So John will just present the logistics for the program for all of us. So if you can't see it on the screen, or if you don't have the invite, just listen keenly. Go ahead, John.
Sure. So the Toronto logistics are, the course will take place April 9th, 10th, and 11th in Toronto from 9 to 5. So show up, anytime after 8:30, and we'll start promptly at 9, and we will not go later than 5 p.m. each day. It's at the Radisson Admiral Toronto Harbourfront Hotel on Queens Quay West, right on the water. Beautiful spot. There will be a light breakfast, snacks, and coffee. Then there'll be lunch and some snacks and things in the afternoon. Now you're on the pre-course call today. The post-course call, which you've all got invitations for, is May the 3rd at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Okay, and so we'll give you some background here, just on Joey and the Leader Circle, and just to give you a sense of who we are. So the Leader Circle is a company that I'm the owner and founder of. John is a principal with the company, and we'll introduce ourselves in more detail once we're physically together. We're a business performance coaching company, and we've been working with Joey since 2013. So this is our 6th year of working with you. And we've delivered our leadership development training programs to several hundred Joey leaders. We've worked with everyone from Al Jessa, Lane, senior leaders, Tyson, all the way through to all levels of the organization. And we've worked with people from Ontario all the way through to British Columbia. We're based here in Calgary. Well, actually, we're based in Calgary. Physically, we are in our hotel rooms in Edmonton. We're leading the same course. We led it last week in Calgary. We're leading it tomorrow, starting tomorrow here in Edmonton. We're also in Seattle next week, and then we come to you in Toronto, and then we're going to end up in Vancouver. So we're taking this course on the road. And the Mastering Leadership Program, it's been custom designed for Joey. Now, I know that we have people from local, so please excuse me. When I say Joey, I mean to include the entire restaurant group, including Salt Lick, that you don't have in Toronto, you don't have in Ontario, but we have Salt Lick out here as well. And it's drawn from key foundational design principles that our colleagues created with the Being a Leader in the Effective Exercise of Leadership program. And that program has been led literally at Harvard Business School. It's been led in Europe. It's been led all over the world. We're bringing you cutting edge leadership training distinctions. That's my point there. And the information is proprietary and confidential. So although we're going to give you everything we got, we have an agreement with Joey that you can't remarket it, you can't give it away to your spouse, or you can't put it on the internet or repackage it or retrain people yourself. So that's what we're saying there with proprietary and confidential. Let me just pause right here. Is there anything that you've heard about, anyone who's heard about the course? Just want to give someone an opportunity. What have you heard about the course, or are you looking forward to the course, or just what's there for you about this course? So let's hear from one or two people. Anything you've heard, or how you're feeling about it, or what's your sense of it? Including, I never heard of it. I don't know a thing.
Well, personally, I've never heard of it, just the course in general, but I'm really excited. I'm excited. Any sort of learning in leadership is always great. And, seeing just how you're going to tie it in with the brand and just learning something new, whether it's about ourselves or as leaders or just people, and just leadership in general is exciting. So I'm sure as many other people on this call, we're just looking forward to seeing what we can take home and get from this course over those 3 days.
Awesome. Great. Thank you. And tell me your name again, please.
You could call me Sue. I'm from Joey Shoreway Gardens. It's Suhani, Suhani, but you could call me Sue.
Shivani. Did I say it correctly? Shivani?
No, it's Suhani, like Sue and honey, Suhani.
Oh, Suhani. Okay.
Yes, you got it.
Okay, Suhani, thank you. It's a beautiful
Yeah.
name. Thank you, Suhani, and
Thank
thank
you.
you for going first. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. All right, I'll let everyone go back on mute and we'll keep going. So on this next slide, what is on the screen is we have an intention. We have an intention of a Mastering Leadership course. Now, John's going to generate this slide, and one of the things you'll find, and we'll say more about this when we're together, is we ask that you read silently as well as listen to John's voice or my voice when we're reading the slide. Because what we found in an international survey, it found that if you read the slide, the word by word silently to yourself while the reader is reading it, you'll retain it. Your retention goes up dramatically, 44%. So you'll find that that's just part of how we work. Okay, John?
Intention of the Mastering Leadership course. This course is intended to be a 3-day journey of discovery. There are things in your life that you've discovered for yourself and things in your life that you understand or have figured out. What's the difference between discovering something for yourself and understanding something or figuring something out?
All right, and this is a participatory conversation, so who will come off mute and actually respond to that question? The question is, what's the difference between discovering something for yourself or understanding something or figuring something out? Who will say? Or if you're unclear about the question, you can say that too. We're asking if you look in your own life, when you discover something for yourself, that's different from when you understand something or when you figure something out.
I don't know if this is what you're looking for, but I feel like when you're discovering something for yourself, it's usually a bit of a bigger moment for yourself. It's a little bit more impactful. You retain it. I think it's a bigger thing in your life versus understanding something. Figuring something out kind of sounds the same to me, but understanding something, you can be taught something and understand it versus actually going through troubleshooting and taking effort to actually go learn something, I guess, is what I would take away from it versus being taught something.
That's great. And who's speaking? I don't see the picture.
Sorry, that was Nick from Yorkdale.
Ah, the handsome Nick. Got it, Nick, that we can't see on the video. Nick from York. Okay, got it, Nick. So, Nick, if you look in your life, what's something you have, what's your accountability? What do you do, Joey?
I'm the head Sue at Yorkdale.
Yeah, so what's something you have actually discovered as the head Sue, distinct from understanding it or figuring it out?
I think discovering that you need to be the catalyst of change yourself in order to see change in other people is something I discovered because I understood that before, but there was a moment in my career where I actually had to see it happen for myself and discover that that's truly what it takes.
Yeah. Great, Nick. Yeah, that's great, everyone. Nick is taking charge here. That's right on, Nick. And this is a sense of how we're going to work together, everyone. We are going to be asking you questions. We're not going to be giving you the answer. We want you to look in your own life, just like Nick did. Right on, Nick. Thank you. Okay. Susan?
Intention of Mastering Leadership. This course is intended to be a 3-day journey of discovery. This journey of discovery is intended to cause breakthroughs in individual, group, and organizational performance in the areas that are important to you. In order to get the maximum value from your participation in this course, you will need to keep in mind that everything in this course is designed to give you actionable access to power in the exercise of your profession. This is especially important when the course gets difficult or boring for you.
Yeah, so this course for many people is unlike any other training course that people have participated in. And we do this, this works. We're intended that you are used by the conversation we're having, distinct from having to remember it. And everything that we're doing in the course, including that we have a pre-course call. including that we're going to be asking you to read things before the call. It's all designed so you can have an actionable access. What's that mean? So you don't have to remember it or look in a book, when you're back at Joey or back at local. You actually will be used by it naturally. Okay?
What you are promised. You'll have experienced whatever individual transformation is required for you to be a leader and gain access to an unlimited world of possibility, inside of which you'll create an inspiring and compelling future for you and the Joey Restaurant Group. We'll provide you with what it will take to support you in fulfilling on that future. When you complete this course, you'll experience immediate results in increased effectiveness, aliveness, and ease. In the way this program is conducted, you'll also easily identify and deal with ways you are currently being in the world that you've struggled with or put up with, or that would be an obstacle to your realizing the future that you will have created for yourself and Joey. What you are promised out of your participation in this course. With this new way of being in the world, you'll immediately experience more vitality and certainty, and significantly less stress in dealing with whatever confronts you in the present. You'll be able to make choices with greater ease and trust the choices you make. In this course, we are not asking you to learn new skills, add to what you know, or even modify your style. Rather, we're asking you to inquire into the whole way you identify yourself, the world, and the relationship between the two. Our approach. Out of your... Sorry,
I'll go over this one. Sorry, John, to cut you off there.
Yeah, that's good.
So, we're making a bold promise to everyone, and then we have a unique approach. So we're going to be doing individual work. We're going to ask you to do some thinking even before we're together, and then we'll do some individual work when we're together, and we'll have you do some group work. We take an approach, what we call discovery learning. Much like Nick said as Knight Sue, when he discovered something distinct from understanding it. So the way that the course is designed, we're going to be asking you to create who you are as a leader. We're going to be asking you to look and see how you actually show up. We're going to be asking you to do the thinking to see what works about your leadership and what doesn't work or doesn't work as well as you'd like. We'll also give you opportunities to share, because we find that when you share, people can see something for themselves that wasn't there before you started to share. So we'll ask you throughout the course to share what you're discovering for yourself. People often say out of doing this work, they get as much out of being with their colleagues, and they get a closeness and a tightness with their colleagues as they do from the quote-unquote course material. And then we're also coach you to put things in existence. What we mean by that is we'll have conversations and exercises that are designed to have you bring the 3-day course back to work. So we'll have you write things down. You want to bring a journal. You want to bring some kind of a notebook for yourself. You want to bring a pen. You want to be able to capture things. Or if you use Outlook, to keep things that you give your word to into existence, or whether you put it into your phone or put it into your iPad or Samsung tablet, we are counting on you putting things into existence as well. And then we have assignments that we'll be giving you and things that we'll ask you to practice. We'll give you stuff before the course, and we'll go over that in a moment. We'll ask you to do things during the course and after the course. So the hours are 9 to 5, as we said at the top of the call. And I appreciate people are going to be coming from out of town. The pull will be, hey, we're together, let's go party. And you can still do whatever you want to do. And some people even go back to work. However, we want you to clear the deck ahead of time, knowing that you're going to have an assignment each night. Now, the assignments or the things we'll ask you to practice are not onerous. It's not like school where you'll have to go and spend hours doing math problems. No, it's not like that. For example, we'll coach you on a particular way of listening. We'll coach you on a particular way of speaking. And we'll ask you to practice noticing how you're listening from the day's conversation. And we'll ask you to come back to day 2 prepared to share what you notice. So that gives you a sense of the kind of assignments and practices we'll have during the course. And we're telling you that up front. Also, we're going to send you some pre-reading material. And it's critical that you read this material beforehand. allow yourself, depending on your reading speed, it could be anywhere from 45 minutes to 2 hours that you want to schedule yourself for reading. And the reading that we're asking you to do is read an integrity interview. It's 6 pages long. It's a colorful document that we'll send you, and it's an interview of our colleague, Michael Jensen, and he's a professor emeritus from Harvard Business School, and he's being interviewed about integrity. And it's a setup for the work we're going to be doing on day 2. And then we're also going to ask you to read the Mastering Leadership paper. Now that Mastering Leadership document is about 11 pages long. It is 11 pages long. And for me, when I first read it, it can occur as thick. It took some time for me to read it. So if you have that experience as you read that Mastering Leadership paper, just stick right to it. Perhaps you want to read it for 20 minutes and then set it down for a bit and then come back and read it for another 20 minutes, before you complete it. However, as you'll see when you basically read this, the reading of that material is critical. And we will check in at the beginning of the course, and we're going to ask who read it, because we're asking that you do it, and we'll ask who didn't do it. And, we're not doing that to be a school marm, or people don't even use the term school marm anymore, but we're not asking it to reprimand or make anyone feel bad. It's what we know that works for us to deliver the bold promise that we're delivering to you. And this is what works with us having done this with Joey and with Local for the 6 years we've been doing this work with you. Then there are three conditions for being in this program. One is that you participate with integrity. What does that mean? Well, one of the aspects of being a leader, and we're going to coach you on, is integrity. So we're coaching you to show up, be on time. Don't have Uber or the cab or the train or something else stop you from actually being ready to go, be on time. Our recommendation is you're there ready to go at least 15 minutes ahead of time. So you have your coffee or you have your beverage and you're ready to go. And also plan on being there all the way to the end. We'll start promptly at 9. We'll take a break in the morning. We'll have a break approximately at noon. And over the lunch breaks, there'll be things you'll be doing as well. So don't think you can, duck out and come back in an hour or something. It's not a course like that. And then we promise we won't go 1 minute past 5 o'clock. And then we're going to give you the assignment. So you want to participate with integrity. That's one condition. Also, set your colleagues up so that they win while you're away. So if you're the only one that has a key to the storeroom, I'm using a silly example, you want to make sure you leave the key to the storeroom before you come. Or if you're the one doing the ordering and you've got the passcodes or something, set other people up so that your phone isn't ringing at the break and you're not dealing with emergencies. This is an opportunity for other people that for them to step up in your absence, or think through when the schedule's got to get posted like that. And then show up with something at stake. We're asking everybody to show up with something specific that you're out to accomplish out of being in the course. So I'm just going to pause right now and give somebody an opportunity. If you know that you're coming into a leadership development course, which this is, and you know that this is quite an investment, which it is. Joey is investing a significant amount in this. They're investing you. They're giving us your time. You're taking your own time away. Some of you are traveling from out of town. You've got to work things out to be away from your homes. And then as well, you're giving us your time. So you have something at stake. It's 3 days. That's a lot invested by your organization. So what are you out to accomplish? Let's hear from somebody. What is it that you are out to accomplish in terms of being a more dynamic or more effective leader? Who will come off mute and say?
This is Tori from Eaton Center.
Hi, Tori.
Hi. One thing that I'd be really, excited to walk out of that feeling like I've mastered is my leadership style in terms of listening authentically and being able to respond authentically back.
Yeah. That's great, Tori. Great. Now, Tori, between now and when we see you, given that you want to take on listening, I'm asking you to practice noticing how you're listening. I know that might be a weird way of saying it, but let's get something. Do you have a real recent example of where you see that you've not listened the way that you see is possible to listen?
Yep.
Okay. Would you be willing to share it with us?
So a big one as the schedule writer, my business was asking for a lot for me, especially with introducing happy hour. And instead of really listening to what the team needed, I was defensive because I felt I had already done a good job.
Yeah.
So in the last maybe week, 2 weeks, it's really been, a challenge listening to what the team needs and putting what I think is best aside.
Yeah.
That's just kind of where like my confidence overdone, holds me back from hearing my team.
That's brilliant. Great, Tori. Really great. And Tori, if we take it even a step further, you don't have to say it on this call, but can you think of a team member in particular instead of team members generally? Can you think of a specific team member that you felt defensive around regarding the scheduling?
Yep.
Okay. Now, bring that person to mind. I'll just call him Bob for this conversation, all right?
Okay.
Okay. So now what I want you to practice between now and when we're together is just practice noticing what you're thinking every time you see Bob. Practice noticing what's there for you as your experience every time you're talking to Bob. Does that communicate?
Yep.
Yeah. Now everyone, if Tori does that, and when she shows up at our course, now she's got, if this were a pottery class, now she's got some clay. Now she's got something we can work with. And Tori's doing a great job for all of us. This is the type of real life or on the court examples that we're asking each of you to come to the course with. Tori wants to cause a breakthrough. My words, not hers. She didn't say breakthrough. She wants to take ground in how she listens. She sees the specific area around the scheduling where she sees that she was defensive. And she sees that it was there with Bob. Now we have something to go to work on. Tori, anything else you want to say?
Nope. Just excited to work through this with you.
It's great, Tori. That's really great. Thank you, Tori. And Tori, what Tori's doing right now, just like Suhani spoke up and Nick spoke up and now Tori's speaking up. This is what it looks like when you're going to be working with us. And thank you. Thanks for taking that first step. Appreciate that.
No problem.
Okay. Okay. All right. Let's go to our methodology here. So the methodology that John and I take, there's two different ways people can learn. Consider. There's one of information learning, where it adds to information and adds to skills and established capacities inside of one's existing worldview and frames of reference. And by the way, when you read that Mastering Leadership paper, it'll talk about what we mean by worldview, and it will elaborate on the term frames of reference. So that's why we're having you read that. You'll get some of the definitions and the terminology down. So there's a way that you can learn where you get information. So when I learned how to drive a car, there was information I had to study and learn, the written part of the driver's test. Nothing wrong with information learning. It just doesn't give me an access to being naturally used by something. John and I are not going to be working with you, giving you more information or giving you tips. Although my background, I have 25 years in the hospitality industry. Started off as a busboy, was a manager with a chain in the U.S. I exited the industry as a regional vice president with Starbucks. But none of that will make any difference to you or this course. So we're not giving you information about how to be better at local. or we're not giving you tips about how to be better as a GSM or whatever you're taking on. We have a distinct approach, and our approach is what we call transformational learning. Transformational learning alters one's existing worldview and frames of reference. And again, when you read the paper, you'll get what we mean by worldview, how you see things. You'll get what we mean by frames of reference. But if you've ever had that aha moment, if you've ever had a breakthrough, then you know of what we're talking about when you have that aha moment, a transformational experience. So the work we're doing with you, we use the analogy, Olympic athletes that have coaches. We already know that you're great because they don't send just anybody to these courses. They don't hire just anyone to be in your roles as well. So you're already great like an Olympic athlete. And now John and I are going to be coaching you to take 1/10 of a second or a couple of hundredths of a second off of your time. So we're going to be pointing to, and we're going to be listening for the parts or the ways of being for you as a leader that don't work or don't work as well as you say that they do. And when you actually do the looking, you know, Tori did the looking, Nick's doing the looking. When you do the looking for yourself and you discover something for yourself, it is yours forever. So our approach is one of transformational learning. Okay. And then we're about giving you a new access to human performance. We're all human beings, and our focus is on performance. So we're not coming from a school of psychology. John's going to present the 3 different domains of where our work comes from, and we will elaborate on them in the readings that we do, that we're giving you, and we'll elaborate on it when we're together in person too.
A new access to human performance. Ontology is the study of being, the study of existence, or as we're using it, what it means to be human or what it means to exist as a human being. Phenomenology is the study of how we perceive the world, others, and ourselves. It's a study of how the world actually occurs for us versus our theories about the world. Neuroscience is the study of how the brain works. Okay, so if you want to know what's our approach and what's our access, it's from these 3 distinct schools, approaches here. And you'll get much more about it when you do the pre-reading. Okay, so as we wrap up the conversation, and we want to check in with you because this call, we're here to serve you. And just as Tori said a few moments ago, I want to give as many people as we have time for an opportunity to get on the court, an opportunity to have this be real, and for you to share. What specific outcomes do you say would make these 3 days worthwhile? You're going to be with us for 3 days. If you walked out and you had an outcome of this, or if you walked out of there and you had a capacity to do this, what would make these 3 days worthwhile? So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and we'll hear from you.
It's Nick from Yorkdale.
Yeah, Nick, please.
What would make it worthwhile would be able to go into any situation at work and when you have to be a leader and go into it with a clear mind and being able to leave the emotion part out of it and make decisions that are best for what needs to be done.
Great.
Feel better.
Great. Great, Nick. Thank you. Now, Nick, and everyone, as you say that or as you look, my coaching would be write it down for yourself. Make a note of what you're saying and just start speculating. Keep looking. Thank you, Nick.
This is Kurt from Rito.
Yes, Kurt.
If I left the course with a greater understanding, I guess, of my own arrogance towards how I look at situations in which I'm dealing with my partners and how to not just rely on the things that I currently know, but kind of go search out maybe the solutions that I don't know, I think that would be a win for me.
Awesome. That's really great, Kurt. From one guy who is arrogant to another guy who knows that that's an area where he can grow, I salute you. It's great. And it takes a big person to say that publicly too, Kurt. Thank you. Yeah. Kurt, anything else for you, Kurt?
No, that's pretty much the top of my list.
Thank you. Okay, who else?
I'll go.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. I'll go next.
Okay. I'm Ali from Rideau. For me, if I left the course with a greater understanding on how to be a less selfish leader, that would really be a huge win for me.
Wow, that's great, Ali. Thank you. Got that. Okay, Cole?
I believe this is a fine line between confidence and cockiness or arrogance, and
yeah,
I consider myself a very confident individual, and I also think very quickly and make decisions very quickly. And if I could come out of this with more of a critical thinking approach that slows my decision making down to be the most effective leader possible, that would be a success for me.
Great, Cole. Got that. Thank you.
Hi, this is Katie from Lansdowne. One thing that I think would be really beneficial to leave the course with was a better understanding of communication styles, and how there's, in one case you could just convey a message to someone and being able to take it to the next level and really alter their perspective. And I think you touched on altering our perspectives and showing us new ways of looking at the things that we've learned and showing us, new perspectives on the world. And if we're able to then take that into our conversations with our partners, being able to make sure that they're not just hearing what we're saying, but seeing the bigger picture of it through effective communication, that would really be a big win for me.
Awesome. It's great. Thank you, Katie. Got that.
Hey, this is Jordan from Joey Polo.
Hey, Jordan.
If I could take away just a better way to develop my relationship with my partners on a more kind of a personal and empathetic level, to kind of be able to relate to them in a more effective way, would be a big win for me.
Okay. Great, Jordan. Got that. Thank you.
Hi, this is Anna from Keniston.
Hi, Anna.
A big win for me would be to leave the course being a more confident leader and being more confident in the decisions I make as a leader. Yeah, that would be a big one.
Great. Great, Anna. Thank you.
I'll go.
You go. I'll go after.
Okay, I'll go. I would just say a higher level of enrollment and alignment with myself and the leadership team, where there's not as much of a, really little to no divide between what we're fighting for and how do we move the entire business in one direction where everyone's just kind of going together for one goal.
Okay. Was that Alexander?
Yeah, this is Alex from Australia.
Alex. Great, Alex. So no divide and enrollment is your area. Got that. Thank you.
I'll go next. This is Sherry from Eaton Center. For me, one of the wins leaving the course, I think, would be just coming away, learning how to be a more fearless leader, learning how to communicate fearlessly and have more confidence in communicating the standard to my team and not worrying as much about what the team thinks of me as their leader before I share my thoughts.
Great, Sherry. Thank you.
I'll go. This is Trace from Sherway. What I'm going to walk away from this meeting is just one, authentically listen to my peers and staff, and put the word integrity on a bigger scale. So if I'm committed to do something, follow through on it, and if for any reason I can't, just have the integrity to follow up and recommit to the next time or stuff like that.
That's great, Trace. That's really great. Got that, Trace. Thanks. Trace, have we met before?
Yes, we have.
Yeah, you were in the course we had in 2016, weren't you?
Yes, sir.
I remember. Okay, great. Welcome back. Welcome new. This is new.
Thank you.
Yeah, great. Okay, who else? All right. Okay. Well, I know, everybody on the call doesn't know everybody, and I appreciate that we're on by video. And before we wrap up, and John, do you have anything else before I make closing comments here?
No, I'm good, Brian. Thank you.
Okay. What a recommendation, everyone, is that you may want to ask people, including the person you report to, hey, I'm going and doing this leadership course. What do you say you would like me to accomplish when I'm away at this leadership course? You could ask them, what do you say would make a difference for the store? What do you say would be a contribution? How can you contribute to me? And several of you have people that have actually worked with us. Maximo jumped on the call before, and you could ask him, you could even ask, hey, what did you get out of this? So that's a recommendation. Okay, well, I know that we ask for an hour and a half of your time, and you'll have approximately 45 minutes of free time. So I guess you just kick back for 45 minutes, right? You guys aren't busy otherwise, are you? Okay, I really am funnier, I guess, in my head than I am sometimes out here. But thank you for your time. Thank you for being with us. Look forward to seeing you guys all next month, which is only a couple weeks away. All right, that's our call, everyone.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
Take care.
Take care.
Thank you, Brian.
Thanks, Brian.
Oh, thank you as well, John. I don't feel like anybody said that.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, John.
I'll dial back, John.